Recording in progress.
Friends, good evening to each one of you. Wish you a very happy new year. And we truly appreciate your taking out that time and joining us today for this session on Bhagavad Gita's take on these seven habits. I got hooked on to the seven habits quite early. I read it first time around 1990s, mid 1990s when it was published. And this is photo of a coffee which was gifted to me in 2004 by my boss, and this is my go-to book. uh, you know I have it always by my side. And these principles have pretty much become my guiding philosophy in my life. I'm sure you're familiar with these, so I'm not delving into them. And when Prasunji mentioned, that let us kick off 2026 with a take from Bhagavad Gita. Dr. Stephen Covey has spoken about Bhagavad Gita being the inspiration for seven habits. I said, what could be more powerful than this to kick off 2026? A very Two of my best books, my most favorite books coming together. So I immediately said yes, and we invited Prasunji to take this session. This is also special in one more way because in 2025, also I kicked off the year with Prasunji. We had very kindly invited me for the book launch of my book Beyond Limits to Ahmedabad Management Association and Books and Bliss Club. And 2026 also we are kicking off with Prasunji. So very feel very blessed and privileged to be hosting him for this session. Prasunji is the founder of Hone ST Solutions, and he does fabulous work in promoting the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. He has a certification program on sales and marketing with AMA, and he's also running a program on Bhagavad Gita with Gujarat Technical University. In his previous life, he worked with organizations like Nestle, Reliance Retail, Idea Cellular, and McCormick. He's also an author of the book The Corporate Bhagavad Gita, Discover the Arjun Within You. And this is also the program which is his flagship program, and he's doing some amazing work spreading awareness about Bhagavad Gita, and he's on a mission, Har Ghar Gita, so fabulous work being done by him and his wife Sandhya ji. I don't think she's in the session today, but they work amazing like a team. Prasun ji, very happy to have you with us today.
धन्यवाद आशीष जी. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, Prasunji. And for the benefit of those who are joining our session for the first time, my name is Ashish Kumar, and I'm the founder of Mindful Living. I started Mindful Living in 2018 as a company which offers trainings based on mindfulness to leaders in the corporate world. And that is what we have been doing successfully for the last 7 years. And in 2020, when the first lockdown happened, we started the Mindful Living Community, which is an initiative to support people live their lives consciously. And this is a no-nonsense community based on WhatsApp, where there are no random forwards, no good morning, good night messages. It's just people coming together and supporting each other in living consciously. So I invite you to join this community. You can only join this community when somebody invites you. We don't advertise about the work we do anywhere. The links to join the community are being shared in the chat, so please click on the link and join the community. That way you will stay updated about the programs that we do every weekend. Our session next weekend would be on LSD, how to take your career to a new high. And just to clarify, LSD here means Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Durga. So it's a very unique program that we have. So we have these weekly sessions where we conduct programs on how to live consciously and elevate your life to the next level. Before we begin, I would urge you to keep your cameras on. That way it is far better, to see your beautiful faces rather than the black tiles that we are seeing right now. and keep actively engaged. We will have Q&A towards the end of the session around 5:45 p.m. or so. Uh, but in the meanwhile, please stay engaged and show your love if there is something that Prasunji shares that you like. Thumbs up, reaction, anything that you like, please share. And you can also keep sharing your questions in the chat, and I'll take care of them, and we will take them up once the session is over. So on that happy note, I would like to invite Prasunji to take the session forward and share with us his take on the 7 habits, Bhagavad Gita's take on 7 habits.
Thank you so much, Ashish ji.
Thank you.
We'll start with a small prayer,
Yes.
and जो जो जहाँ जहाँ पे है वो स्ट्रेट बैठ जाएं अपनी सीट पे, एंड 3 बार हम लोग ओम चैंट करेंगे। और ओपनिंग प्रेयर्स, अगर आपको प्रेयर्स आती है तो हमारे साथ बोलिएगा, अदरवाइज म्यूट करके बोलिएगा, एंड देन विल स्टार्ट। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्म विद्वरम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। Hare Om. Ashish ji, I can share my screen, isn't it?
Yes, Prasunji.
Okay, thank you so much. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, so before we begin, the first disclaimer is this session is about my limited knowledge and limited understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. And 7 Habits is a very highly acclaimed book. And I'll try and bring in my perspective. But at the end of the session, if you have anything more to add, please feel free to do that. With that, we begin. So, the first question, how many of you have read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? On the chat, please, your reactions or whatever. Only Ashish ji, Narayan ji, okay. Only 2 people. Padma Kumar ji, Richard says 50-50. That sounds interesting. Okay.
Prasun
Uh,
ji, uh, we are not seeing your slides.
अभी
I'm
मैंने
seeing.
उसको
Yeah.
वापस किया है.
Okay, okay. Maybe you should stop sharing and then start sharing again. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So, okay. Okay. Now the second question is, how many of you have read the Bhagavad Gita? Once completely. Okay. I have in parts. Okay. Okay. Great. So let's begin. So let me share my screen again. Is my screen visible? I'm not able to share. Shall I leave and come back again, Ashish ji?
or maybe you can email the presentation to me or WhatsApp me and let me try sharing it from my side. While we are waiting for Prasunji to log in again, anybody would like to share which one of the seven habits is their favorite, or which of the Bhagavad Gita shloks is your? Yes, Prasunji.
I'm so sorry for the technical glitch.
No,
I
no
hope
worries.
that was the first and the last time.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mr. Padma Kumar. I think it should. No, again we are seeing. I'm seeing. Yeah, now we can see your presentation. Yeah. Yeah, please.
Okay, so the disclaimer is this session is based on my limited understanding of both the original book, The Seven Habits, and the Bhagavad Gita, and my understanding, limited understanding. Okay, so what are the seven habits? I cannot see the chat, so if you can say it.
Uh, so,
ये दोनों
Mr.
कैसे दिखता है इसमें?
Sorry.
Can I see both the my presentation and people
Yeah,
also?
you will be able to. You just need to arrange it in a particular manner. Right now, we have from Mr. Padma Kumar begin with the end in mind. My favorite one is being proactive and first things first.
Hmm.
Uh, those who have
Okay,
read, yeah,
so let's go.
yeah.
So the first habit that Stephen Covey talks about is be proactive. The second is begin with the end in mind, and he derives a very beautiful corollary with the graveyard. How you want your epitaph to read? Okay. Put first things first. Think win-win. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Okay. And then comes synergize, and the last is anyone
Sharpen the saw.
sharpen the saw.
Sharpen the saw.
Absolutely. Okay, great. So let's what we'll do is we'll try and understand what the book says about it and how the Bhagavad Gita comes in. Okay, or which slok of the Bhagavad Gita comes in. Okay. So be proactive. Mr. Kave says take responsibility and don't blame the circumstances. So whatever you do in life, take responsibility of whatever comes to on your plate, and don't blame the circumstances. And somewhat the same, the Bhagavad Gita is actually based on the same thing. Because if you look at Arjun in a battlefield which is symbolic, so हम सबका कार्य क्षेत्र जो है, we are all engaged in our own battlefields. All our challenges are different, our situations are different, our circumstances are different, our mindsets are different, everything being different, but all of us are engaged in our own battlefields. Okay. The outer world, we don't have any control upon. But one thing that we can control is the self. And can we do that is something that becomes so important. One, to understand that I will never be able to change things which are happening outside me. When I say things, it includes person, place, thing, being, and event. Anything that is happening outside of me, I will never be able to change it. Never. Whatever I can think, whatever position I am in, till even in a corporate setup, the hierarchies that we talk about, only it is the chair and not the person. Okay, because in the same chair, two different person behave differently. Okay. So be proactive, he says, and Bhagavad Gita parallel from there, it says, you are the master of your own actions and otherwise. I put and otherwise in bracket because whatever you do, good or bad, that happens to you is only and only because of you. No one else. No one else. Let's see a shloka from the Bhagavad Gita. This is one of my favorite shlok. I will chant it first and then we'll see what the shlok says. It says, Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanah. It says that Uddharet atmanam atmanam. Lift, उद्धार हम बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में, उद्धार is to lift. Uddharet, to lift oneself by oneself. Atmanam atmanam. So to lift, you have to lift yourself by yourself only. And you must decide to lift yourself. Na atmanam avasadet. Never ever try and degrade yourself. Never ever try and degrade yourself. So you are responsible to upgrade yourself, lift yourself, and you are only, and never try and degrade yourself. Why? Because Bhagavan says, Atmaiva hi hyatmano bandhu. Atma hi eva atmanoha bandhu. He says, because I am my best friend. Bandhu in Hindi or in Sanskrit is the friend. Atma hi atmano bandhu. And Atma eva ripuratmana. Okay. Ripu in Sanskrit or Hindi is the enemy. So I am my best friend and I am my worst enemy. So it is only I who will decide whether I lift myself or I degrade myself. So the cause of my present current situation is only and only me. The cause of my situations in the past was me, the present in me is me, and the future also. The way I decide to conduct myself, my life, it will only and only be dependent on me. So he says that don't be dependent on anything else. Lift yourself by yourself. Don't degrade yourself. Don't let yourself fall down because you are your best friend and you only are your worst enemy. Decide for yourself, is what he says. So elevate yourself by yourself and do not degrade, because you are your best friend and you yourself are your worst enemy, is what he says. This is 6th chapter, 5th shlok, one of my favorite shlok of the Bhagavad Gita. Any situation that I get into, which is a challenging situation where solutions don't come to mind, at that given moment, this shlok helps a lot. And it then proactively you can or I can start doing things which is in my control. So from the external, I then start looking internal, that what is it that I can do in this situation, rather than waiting for things to happen. Okay, effectiveness begins with inner control, not external emotions. Okay, so that is be proactive. Begin with the end in mind. The second habit that Stephen Covey talks about. Live with clear vision and values, he says. Clarity of purpose. Clarity of purpose. In fact, I think he also makes this, that if you imagine that you have passed away and you're being buried. So what would you like your epitaph to read? Epitaph everyone understand, isn't it? So what you want your epitaph to read, imagine that and then start working. Begin with the end in mind. So what do you want to leave behind? Begin with the end in mind, is what he says. And Bhagavad Gita says, act with awareness of your higher purpose. Act with awareness of your higher purpose is what Bhagavad Gita says. I am going to get in two shloks here from the Bhagavad Gita. And first is, it says, third chapter, 35th slok. It says, Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushthitat swadharme nidhanam shreyah paradharmo bhayavaha. So Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha. He says Shreyan. Shreyan is Kalyankari. What is good for you, what is beneficial for you, is your swadharma, your obligatory duties. The dharma, the duties that are assigned to you basis the gunas that you have. So sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, all of us are product of that. Uh, so whatever is comes to my plate as my obligatory duty, howsoever vigunaha is, howsoever bad it may feel, Shreyan Swadharma, and it is beneficial to do that, howsoever bad it may feel at that point in time. Paradharmat Swanushthitat, rather than getting into performing someone else's duty, thinking that that is more elite. Okay. And then he goes on to say, Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha. He says that in your own dharma, the own obligatory duties, it is better to die. Nidhan. Nidhan is to die. Okay. Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha. It is better to die performing your own obligatory duties rather than doing someone else's duties, which at that point in time may look very celebrated, because we don't know what is behind that. Paradharmo bhayavaha. Someone else's obligatory duties may be less with fear. Who knows? Okay, so that is what Bhagwan says, that whatever comes to my mind, whatever comes to my plate, so whatever I am doing currently, the job assigned to me in case of a corporate setup, the current role that I am in, I need to justify that, keep on doing that till the time I achieve excellence in the duties that I'm performing, rather than looking at someone else's duties. Okay, I'll just give you an example. A sales guy who's working in the field, and if he keeps on thinking that people sitting in the office are sitting in the AC, and we are slogging it out in the rain, sun, shine, uh, cold, so it is better that I also go and sit in the office and do it. No, it will not, because you're not supposed to do that role. And even if you do that role, you will not be given that credit, because you're not, because that's not what you're supposed to do. Paradharmo bhayavaha, swadharme nidhanam shreyaha, and it is better to die performing your own duty than doing someone else's duty, which may be laced with fear because we are not aware of what is there in store. See the same, the third shlok, 33rd chapter, 35th shlok, Bhagavan again, when he's summarizing the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 18, the 47th shlok of chapter 18 is again the same shlok. Okay. It says, Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat swabhavaniyatang karma kurvannapnoti kilvisham. So he says that it is better to perform your own obligatory duties imperfectly than performing another's duty perfectly, because swabhavaniyatang karma, niyat karma are the obligatory duties. Swabhav is the gunas that makes us, according to that, whatever is my obligatory duties, if I keep on performing that, kurvan na apnoti kilbisham, I will never incur sin, is what he says. One does not incur sin. Okay, now there are so many, begin with the end in mind. In fact, it comes in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, then chapter 11, chapter 9, chapter 18. So many chapters it is there, and there are so many shlokas. But I thought I'll pick up these two. Another one that comes to my mind is chapter 9, shlok number 22. It says, Ananyashchintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate teshan nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So it says that Ananyashchintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate, someone who is uh, chintan karna is thinking about or dedicating everything to me continuously, ananya bhakti se. Ananyas chintayanto mam, Bhagwan says mam yani mujhe, to him, to the higher. So whatever we do, if we keep on dedicating it to something which is higher, ye janaf paryupasate teshan nityabhiyuktanam. He says that nityabhiyuktanam, whatever is the daily need. So whatever is our basic need, whatever the basic needs are food, clothes, and shelter. That is given for. That is given. So for that, you don't have to worry about. Ananyas chintayantu mam ye janaf paryupasate teshan nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. Yogakshemam vahamyam का मतलब, it says that, इसका मतलब ये होता है कि जो मेरे पास नहीं है या फिर जो मैं नहीं सोच सकता, with my limited understanding, Bhagwan says, he gives a guarantee that even I'll give you that. Don't worry. Don't worry. So, अगर हमने, have you seen the logo of LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India? The logo? The logo says नीचे योगक्षेमम वहाम्यहम. So what does LIC say? LIC says that keep investing in me. I will give you more than what you can think of. So it has also been taken from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. And then comes the Charam Shlok of the Bhagavad Gita, which says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyaha Mokshayishyami Mashuchaha. So begin with the end in mind, and the end has to be very, very high. The clarity of purpose has to be very, very high. He says that leave everything and take my refuge. I will take care of you, and you will not be incurring any sin. Don't worry. Ma shuchaha, don't grieve, he says. He says, don't grieve. And that is the Charam Shlok of the Bhagavad Gita. So begin with the end in mind is so very important. It's so very important. That purpose-driven life is equal to principle-centered leadership. So leadership is another subject that we can take up at in a different forum. But leadership is not someone who enjoys the powers. lead anyone, all of us present here are leaders in our own way. Okay, so purpose driven life is principle centered leadership. So act with awareness of the higher purpose. What is it that you are wanting to achieve? The higher purpose, when we have, then everything else seems to cut off. From any distraction that comes in the way will be cut off, and we can remain focused in that only when the purpose is very, very high. Begin with the end in mind. It is so important, because the goal that we have, if that is very something that I want to achieve badly or passionately, I am able to do that. Only I'll be able to pursue that passion when one I am in love with that goal, or I want to achieve that badly. And that purpose has to be very, very high. In fact, in 18th chapter, Bhagwan says in the 5th and 6th shlok also, and that is, he says that Yagna dana tapah karma na tyajyang karyameva tat. He says the three things cannot be given up. While we can give up everything in life, three things cannot be given up. Yagna dana tapah. Yagna is worship or sacrifice. So perform your duties as worship. Tapa is single pointed focus and concentration of the mind and the senses towards the goal, for the goal. Only then I'll be able to mobilize my resources like worship towards that goal, and only then that goal will be achieved. And once I achieve that goal, danaha is the third thing. He says that when I achieve that, I must be attributing it generously to people who have helped me achieve that, because no one can say that I've done it myself. So that's so very important. And then he goes on to say that even etan yapitu karmani sangan tyaktva phalani cha kartavyani iti me partha nishchitam matam uttamam. He says even these, how these are etani apitu karmani, even these karmas, which karmas? Yagne dana tapaha. Even these are to be done by giving up of my attachment to the fruit of action, to the attachment to the result itself, and my giving up of my personal likes and dislikes. So when I begin with the end in mind, I have to then, my personal likes and dislikes, I'll have to give up. There will be so many things, so many distractions that would like to take me away from the goal that I am pursuing. Only then I can remain focused. Okay.
Prasunji, there are a lot of comments and questions coming. Is it okay if we take and briefly pause and respond to them?
I'm not able to see.
Yeah, no,
I'm
no, no
only
worries. I'll pick them up for you.
okay.
So Richard is asking, is the sense this is what we the Swadharma? It's relation to Swadharma. What we are supposed to do? Are we followers or leaders? Richard, would you like to unmute and ask your question? Richard, are you there?
I'm there. I needed to get my coffee again. Apologies.
Okay.
It's we're at the lunchroom, so my apologies. I missed this question because my headset
So
was
your
out of
question,
range.
could you elaborate on your question about leader and follower
Yes,
related to
in two
Swadharma?
perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's so. Thank you, first of all, sir, for your enlightening conversation. I'm always learning a lot from different angles on perspective. The reason for my question is, if you're a leader and you're covering innovation, you don't have exactly a clear trajectory, because you need to invent the wheel while you're driving. In essence, flying a plane while you're building it mid-air. In that sense, your own
I'm sorry, I'm not able to get your
Yeah, no,
question.
even Richard, I think he's dropped off. While we are
Ashish ji, could you
waiting,
get the question?
yeah, Richard. Richard, it's not very clear. Could you speak a bit slowly? Ri- yeah, Richard.
Not a problem. Ashiji, can we do one thing?
Yeah. Okay, no,
Uh,
no, no worries, Richard. We'll take it up towards the end.
yeah,
Uh,
so
the
let's
Sri,
go.
yeah, there's one more. Sripad had a question on the shlokas. Sripad, could you unmute yourself and ask?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear
you
you.
are.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you for this great session. This is one thing which is very close to heart. On habit two, there were two shlokas on display, 3.35 and 18.47. And then you also recited 9.22, and then there was one more. So I'm just noting down the cross references. So could you please just tell which one was the fourth one for
That
habit
is
two?
the Charam Shlok of the Bhagavad Gita, 66th Shlok of 18th chapter.
16
Sarvadharman
by 16.
parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tva sarva papebhyah moksha yishyami ma shuchah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And is there any cross-reference table or something like that in your slides at the end?
So there we
Summary
are.
table or something?
Cross reference to what?
The habit
The
and the
habits and the
shlok.
shlokas.
Mhm.
Habits and the shlokas. So these are as per my understanding. For your understanding, the shlokas may differ. So that's why I have not
Okay,
given any. If you want, I can always make that. Don't worry. I can make that and I'll add it in the last. I'll make a slide. Once I share the slide with Ashish ji, he can share it in the
Sure,
group.
that was
You can
okay.
have it.
Yeah. Thank you for that,
thank you.
Prasunji. That was another request that came. But thank you, friends, for all your active interest and questions. I'll request you to keep putting your questions here. We will pick up each one of them towards the end. But if we pick it up now, it may just break the flow, and our discussions may extend much beyond the 6 p.m. time that we have. I'm aware it's a Saturday evening for you, and you may have commitments, social commitments also. So please stay engaged, keep putting your questions, and I request Prasunji to take it forward with the third habit.
Yeah, thank you so much. Please bear with us. Let me finish this, then we will at length we can discuss. Okay. I don't have any Saturday evening. I can be here for some time. In case anyone wants to engage, we can always discuss. So let's go to the third habit, which is put first things first. So what Mr. Kave says that be disciplined and prioritize. So very important. So very important. What Bhagavad Gita says that act according to your obligatory duties, not impulse or distraction. The obligatory duties. In fact, in our Shastra, the word dharma is not religion. The word dharma is obligatory duty. From there comes these words like dharma patni, dharma guru. ठीक है दिस ये मेरा धर्म है my dharma is what my obligatory duty so for example Arjun's obligatory duty being a kshatriya was to save to protect this society or to uphold the dharma to establish dharma as a kshatriya it was his obligatory duty okay so put first things first Shlok 41 from chapter 2. I'll recite the shlok before I talk about it. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana bahushakhayanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. It says that व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि को निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धि भी बोलते हैं व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि का मतलब होता है द रेजोल्यूट माइंड द रेजोल्यूट माइंड ओके he says that all of us who are working in any field, even be it spiritual, be it physical, be it relation, any field that we are working in, this becomes so important. If I don't have a resolute mind, then and if I have a scattered mind, it is not going to help. The resolute mind is the mind that identified it will always identify and put the first things first Because the clarity of thought, the discipline, the prioritization can only come when I am very clear in what I want to pursue. So if you the more you go up in the ladder in an hierarchy, especially in the corporate world, it is said that the clarity of thought is something that is required at that level for us at any level, because only then you can climb the ladders. Okay, the primary duty or the higher goals. First, define a goal. The higher the goal, the more fixed you will be on it. So Vyavasayatmika Buddhi is the Nishchayatmika Buddhi is the resolute mind. And once I have that resolute mind, I will be able to filter out all the noises and the distractions which come in my way, because that is going to come. 7th chapter, 14th slok, Bhagwan says that Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mame Vaye Prapadyante Maya Me Tantarantite. Bolte, he says कि the distractions, the Maya, the delusion or the illusion that you see, Arjun, is created by me only. दैवी हेशा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्य, बोलते कि त्रिगुणात्मक प्रकृति से ये जो माया जो है इज मैंने ही बनाई है. ये दुस्तर माया इज क्रिएटेड बाय मी ओनली. माम एव ये प्रपद्यन्ते, माम एव ये प्रपद्यन्ते. Someone who keeps on focusing on that goal, focusing on me, focusing on the supreme, maya metan tarantite, I उसको मैं तरा देता हूं. I ensure that he crosses the line. That's the guarantee that Bhagwan gives. But he says that these distractions, these maya, will always be there. You will have to overcome it on your own. If you are able to do that, don't worry, I'm there to hold your hand. Is his guarantee that he gives. And a scattered mind is the avevasayinam. When someone has a scattered mind, bahushaka, he says that bahushaka, it has so many branches that every branch keeps on pulling you one or the other side. These branches are the distractions that we create for ourselves. So in case I don't have any clear goal or I don't have a clear thought, if I don't know what is to be done, then there are plenty of things which are going to divert my attention. I will never be able to put the first things first. It will never happen. And in the process, I will get exhausted. I will be doing so many things and I'll end up doing nothing. And यहीं से वो वाला phrase आया English में, okay, Jack of all trades is master of none. Okay, so that is what he says. Put first things first is so very important. So very important. Then the most celebrated and the most misunderstood shlok of the Bhagavad Gita. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतुर्भुः मा ते संगोऽस्त्व कर्मणि. He says that karmani eva adhikarahate. Only doing, performing action is in my control. That's it. Nothing else is in my control. Ma phaleshu kadachana. The fruit, the phal, the result is not in my adhikar. मेरे अधिकार में है ही नहीं. Is not in my control. मां फलेषु कदाचन. यहां तक तो सबको पता होता है. अब लोग बोलते हैं कर्म किए जा, फल की इच्छा मत कर, ऐसा लोग बोलते हैं, but that is not what the श्लोक says. It says that केवल और केवल कर्म करने पे I have right only to action, not to the fruits. Because the fruit is not in my control. The result is not in my control. That's outside of me. So what is inside of me? What is in my control? In fact, in the corporate world, it's a very celebrated statement. Control the controllables. Comes from here. Karmani eva adhikarahate ma phaleshu kadachan. I don't have any right on the result that comes in. of the input is in my control, the output is not in my control. Now he says, because of this, ma karma phala heturbuhu. So don't become the cause of the action, thinking that the result is because the result is the cause, that result is because of me. Don't become that. Ma karma phala heturbuhu. That result is not because of you. That result is something that is beyond our control. Now, if only in my control is my action, the result is not in my control, and I don't have to think that the result is because of me, then why should I work? Then why should I perform action? And best is Bhagwan says himself, Mate Sangostva Karmani, Akarmani. And because of this, don't get into inaction, because you just can't get into inaction. So action is not only physical, it is mind, it is the sound, it is the speech also. Okay. So he says, whatever is in my control, I must keep on doing. First things first, results बाद में आएंगे. But ये मेरे control में क्या है? Is my efforts, is my action, is my righteous duty. That's in my control. Keep on doing it. Don't worry. Don't worry. The results will be taken care of. Don't worry. Because otherwise what happens is we get attached to the results. अगर आ गया मेरे हिसाब से तो ठीक है, नहीं आया तो क्या होता है? नहीं आया तो क्या होता है? Then the fabric of the society gets distorted. 57% of India are suffering from depression. 37% increase in the CNS drugs sales in India. CNS is central nervous system drugs to control those stress levels and the depressions. Okay. So read the Bhagavad Gita. You will not be wanting to get into all those drugs and all. But read the Bhagavad Gita the way it is meant to be read. Okay. Okay. Self-management is the only management actually. I was about to write only management. Then I thought, no, let me write the right management. The self-management is the right management. Please don't try to manage anything outside of you. You will not be able to. Manage yourself perfectly. वो बोलते ना कि जब मैं चाहूंगा तो कायनात भी मेरे को वो लेके देती है. So मैं manage the self. And when I say मैं, it is not the ego. It is not the ego. It is something, it is selfless that I want to get into, not selfish. Okay. The fourth habit is think win-win. Mutual benefit, abundance mindset, that is something that Mr. Kave says, that whatever we do should not only be for my own benefit. It should benefit people. It should benefit the society. It should benefit everyone who is involved in that. Bhagavad Gita says, act for the collective good, not self-gain. And this is one of my favorite shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantah shreyah param avapsyatha. So it says, भगवान इसमें क्या बोल रहे हैं? भगवान कह रहे हैं कि तुम वो देवों की पूजा, that higher, ठीक है? You keep on worshipping that higher, you keep on dedicating everything, whatever you do, or you do for the benefit of that higher. No one of us have seen God, but all of us have seen the nature. Okay. So let's be with the nature. Let's nurture the nature to the best of our capabilities. Let's not go against the nature the way it is happening right now. Okay. Devan parasparam bhavayantah shreyah paramavapsata. If I do that, the environment, the nature will ensure that I get the best. Both of us will keep on nurturing, both of us will keep on growing, and both of us will keep on enjoying the way we are supposed to enjoy. Not the AQI levels of 700 plus. It cannot be only, see, if you look at humans are the only creatures in the world, who is only asking, rest everyone. Any creation of the nature is only giving. I'm leaving it there. Think about it. बाद में इस पे discussion करेंगे. You nourish the God with this worship. Let the gods nourish you. Okay. Nourish wherever you are. Environment, nature, nourish it. Only if we do it together only, we can be nourished the way we are supposed to get nourished. Only then we will get supreme satisfaction. This is also one of my favorite slokas. Yaddacharati shrestha tattadeve tarojanaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. Third chapter, 21st slok. This is the slok on leadership. I hope I will be able to answer Richard's question here to an extent. Yat acharati shrestha. Yat acharati. Whatever acharati is acharan. Shrestha is the leader. Shrestha Purush, leader. So, the way a leader behaves, the way a leader conducts, tatta deve tarojana, the same way the others conduct. Same way the others conduct. Sayat pramanam kurute, जैसे जैसे वो प्रमाण देता है, जैसे जैसे whatever standards he sets. Who? The leader, the Shresth Purush. Lokas tadanu vartate. People just follow. Log us pe anusaran karte hain. Okay. I'll give you just a small example because of paucity of time. If you want your kids to read and not engage unnecessarily into gadgets, not get into the addiction of gadgets, then you must read yourself. You keep on saying that you do it, not happen. Until and unless you set the example, practice what you preach, only then it will create a win-win. Otherwise, it can be sustained for some time, but it can never be stable. It can never become a habit. Whatever the leaders do and establish proof, people just follow. Practice what you preach uplifts not only you, but the society at large. And the people working with you, people in touch with you, everyone. But then a man is known by the company he keeps. So if you want people to keep your company, do this. Think win-win. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. I'll take some time here because listening with wisdom, that is empathetic listening before responding, is what Mr. Cave says in his book. BhagavadGita parallel, Arjun and Bhagwan Shri Krishna. I will just take you through one slide. This is the construct of the Bhagavad Gita. It has 18 chapters, 701 shloks. In some copies it is 700 shloks, in some copies it is 701. जिनमें 701 है उसमें 13वें अध्याय में 35 श्लोक्स हैं. एक श्लोक जो शुरू होता है वो अर्जुन का होता है, जिसमें 700 श्लोक हैं, उसमें 34 होते हैं यहाँ पे, and it starts with Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Okay. 13th chapter is the Kshetragna Vibhaga Yoga, the field and the knower of the field. Okay, we'll come back to that later. So 700 slok. There are 4 characters in the Bhagavad Gita: Dhritarashtra, Sanjay, Arjun, and Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Arjun is totally deluded and is seeking answers from Bhagwan that in this situation what needs to be done. So out of the 701, only 1 is spoken by Dhritarashtra, 41 by Sanjay, 84 by Arjun, 574 by Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Bhagwan is telling Arjun, but look at it, 47 shlok in the Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, Bhagwan has not spoken. He didn't speak at all. In fact, the first shlok of the second chapter, Sanjay speaks. Tantatha krupaya vishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vishidantamidam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha. He says that This Arjun, tan tatha krupaya avishtam, is totally deluded, depressed. Arjun, Ashru Purna Kulekshanam, is crying. Ashru is Asu. Vishidantam idam vakyam. Okay. And to this Arjun, Bhagwan, Ovacha Madhusudana, Bhagwan says. So till 47 shlok, Bhagwan didn't say anything. He lets Arjun speak. Whatever is he is thinking, whatever are his doubt, whatever are his illusion, he lets them flow from Arjun. भगवान ही इज भगवान है. वो चाहते तो अर्जुन ने जैसे ही बोला था वो बोलते मैं बोल रहा हूँ युद्ध करो, ये होने वाला, बट नो. एंड दैट इज व्हाई भगवद गीता इज सेड टू बी द इंस्ट्रक्शन मैनुअल फॉर लाइफ. So till 48 shloks, Bhagwan lets Arjun just rant off whatever he was thinking. And once Arjun keeps on giving his thought, his arguments, his perspectives, and then he gets tired. He gets tired. And then he says, Karpanya doshopahatas swabhavah pachami tvan dharma sammudha chetaha yachreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me sishyaste ham shadiman tvam prapannam. He says that in the 7th श्लोक of the chapter 2, Arjun then makes a confession. कार्पण्य दोष पहत स्वभाव, मेरे स्वभाव में कायरता का दोष हो गया है प्रभु. पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेता, मैं आपसे पूछता हूं मैं कौन हूं अभी? धर्म सम्मूढ़. आई एम टोटली डिल्यूजन, आई एम टोटली डिल्यूडेड. मुझे पता ही नहीं है व्हाट इज राइट व्हाट इज रॉन्ग. यत् श्रेयस्या निश्चितम ब्रूहितन में. इन दिस सिचुएशन whatever is shreya is kalyanकारी, whatever is right for me, whatever is beneficial for me, nishchitam bruhitan mein, as per you, as per your ascertained view, please tell me. Why tell me? Why tell me? Then he says, then he surrenders. Sishyasteham shadiman tvam prapannam. Because I am your shishya. मैं आपकी शरण में आया हूं, आप मुझे ज्ञान दीजिए, आप मुझे बताइए इस सिचुएशन में क्या करना होता है. सो एनीवन हु कम्स टू अस or in any conversation, in any negotiation, whatever you are, whatever position you are, the art of communication comes from the Bhagavad Gita, that if someone is speaking, listen to understand, not to respond. Not to respond. Because once we let the other person speak and we understand or we listen to him or her empathetically, then only it will be an honest listening. Only then someone will be able to surrender into you. Otherwise, it will not happen. Otherwise, it's chaos. Otherwise, it is fish market. Humility and receptivity precede wisdom is what is the take from here. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Okay. So very important. It is so important that we conduct ourselves in this manner. Otherwise, nahi hoga. And it is both ways. Huh? So when someone comes to me or I go to someone, I need to be very honest in whatever I am saying. Okay, great. Synergize. The 6th habit. Unity in diversity. Create cooperation. The whole is more than the sum of parts. Okay. Bhagavad Gita parallel. All beings are interconnected. Expressions of the one. All beings are the interconnected expressions of the one. It may look in parts, but all are part of the whole. So 18th chapter, 20th shlok, this shlok Bhagwan says about the Jnana, the knowledge. Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic, he says 3 types of knowledge, but what is Satvik knowledge? We must know. Sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu taj jnanam viddhi satvikam. He says that Sarva bhuteshu yena ekam bhavam avyayam ikshate. That everything that has come into the created by the creator, everything that has come into being, Sarva Bhuteshu. Bhoot here is not ghost. Bhoot here is also not the past. Bhoot here is like Panch Mahabhut. Anything that is created by the creation. Sarva Bhuteshu. Yena ekam bhavam avyayam ikshate. Everything that has been created are all connected. Ekam avyayam bhavam. One immutable truth. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu. It is not divided and it cannot be divided. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu. Taj jnanam vidhi satvikam. Someone who has this jnana has this satvik jnana. Okay, I'll just give you an example. In a leadership position, span of control is usually 6 to 8 people, 8 to 10 people in some organizations. Now, these 8 to 10 people or 6 to 10 people that someone has in the team will be people from different backgrounds, from different cultural backgrounds, from different education background, from different skill level, the different will level, the different communications level. However, and if I look at it from this natural eyes, I will only look at those differences. I can only look at those differences. But if I look at something, why all of these people have come together? Because of something that binds together. Is the departmental goal, or is the goal that we are trying to achieve as a team, for which I am being given the responsibility to lead the team. So if I am able to focus on that goal and not on the differences that I see in the people around me, then everyone will be focused on the goal only. All the differences will get negated. And if I do that, everyone in the team will start following that. Yadadacharati Shrestha, we saw. And only then we will be able to achieve. And what will happen is it will get into integration of people. It integrates. This knowledge integrates. This synergizes different backgrounds, different skill, different will, different education levels, different understanding levels, different deliverables, but still there is a synergy. It synergizes. Okay. And if I don't do that, there is a disintegration that happens. इसके बाद वाला श्लोक वही है, वो मैं ले नहीं रहा because हम synergize पे बात कर रहे हैं. So it will get into integration of people. Collaboration rooted in oneness creates excellence. Synergize. Sharpen the saw. This is so very important, the seventh habit, especially in today's era of AI and in today's area of tech, where everything changes with the blink of eye. Even the delivery apps are called Blinkit. Okay, with the blink of eye, everything changes. Now, everything around me, when it changes, if I don't change myself, I will be left behind. And that is what Mr. Covey says, that continuous renewal of body, mind, and intellect. Continuously keep on sharpening the saw. Continuously. Otherwise, I'll not be able to cut the wood when it demands. Okay, when it demands. Bhagavad Gita says, balance yourself through yoga, through meditation, and through awareness as to what is happening outside and how do I skill myself, or how do I sharpen my saw to be relevant in the current moment. So it becomes so very important, because if I don't keep on sharpening my saw, I will be labeled irrelevant sooner than later. युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. This is from the 6th chapter, which is the Atma Sanyam Yoga, the yoga of meditation. 17th shlok, it says that yukta, integrated. Yukta ahar. Yukta ahar is moderate. Moderate ahar. Ahar is food. Vihar is entertainment. Yukta ahar vihar. So moderate entertainment, moderate food. Yukta chestasya karmasu. Moderate efforts. It's not that I am working for 24 hours continuously. मैं 36 घंटों से काम कर रहा था. Not required. Sooner or later you will be burnt off. Not required. Is what Bhagwan says. So do it, do everything, but do everything properly. Yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya. Swapna is swapna to hota hi hai, but swapna in Sanskrit also means sleeping. So yukta swapna and bodhasya, abodhasya is waking. So jagna or sona, both sleep and waking up, the cycle has to be very, very balanced. Very balanced. So balanced food, balanced entertainment, balanced work, balanced sleep, balanced time of waking up. Yogo bhavati dukha. Only then, by practicing this yoga, it will lead to the end of sorrows. Yogo bhavati dukha. Yukta hara viharasya. Yukta chestasya karmasu. Yukta swapna babodhasya. Yogo bhavati dukha. Yoga shall dispel all unhappiness. Balance. So very important in life. If you've read this book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, so this guy, from unbalanced, he came to a balanced life, and then the life changed for him. The pivot of that book is this shlok. And the second shlok that for me is very important and how we must do it. Shanai shanai ruparamed buddhya dhruti gruhitaya atma samstam manah krutva nakinchidapi chintayet. He says that slowly. It will not come overnight. So whatever we do, sharpen the saw continuously, we will have to do it continuously, consistently over a period of time. Only then the results will happen. And then continuously, consistently doing it over a period of time, it says Shanai Shanai Ruparamit. Slowly, slowly, slowly do it. Because from the current state, it may look impossible, but we will have to make a start. But make that start slow but sure start. Shanai Shanai Ruparamit. Buddhya Dhruti Gruhitara. Buddhya is mind, Dhruti is the fortitude or the patience. Atma samstham manah krutva, by situating the self, making the self stable, the mind is stable. Na kinchidapit chintet. If you are able to do that, don't worry, I am there, is what Bhagavan says. Gives his guarantee. Okay. One will attain peace. Don't worry about it, is what Bhagavan says. Sustainable effectiveness comes from inner balance. So balance is so very important. Even if I have to upgrade myself, do it continuously, do it consistently, do it slowly, but do it. Okay. It will take effort. Is it impossible? No. Is it possible? Yes. But continuous, consistent efforts are the key to this. Okay. So let's revisit the summary. Habit 1 is be proactive. We saw Uddhared Atmanam Natmanam Avasadayet Atmaiva Yatmano Bandhu Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. One more shlok that comes to my mind. Second chapter, 55th shlok, which is part of the Sthita Prajna in Bhagavad Gita. When Arjun asks who is that Sthita Prajna Purush, how does he conduct himself, how does he speak, interact, how does he walks, how does he sit, is what he asks. Then Bhagavan says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmai vayat sarv Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanyevatmana tushtah sthita prajnasta dochyate. He says, Prajahati yada kaman, jab jis kaal mein kaman, the desires, Sarvan Partha Manogatan, when all of your desires are taken care of, are ended. End. Atmani eva atmanah tushtaha. When the self, when I am santusht, satisfied with myself, that is the state which is called as Sthita Prajna. And this will remain till the end of our life, till the time we are into spirituality or whatever. If we want to attain peace or if we want to attain happiness, Satchit Anand, this shlok is going to be with us till the end of our life. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmanah tushtaha. When I say the self satisfied by this, I am satisfied with myself, meaning that I stop seeking any external validation. Only then I can be proactive. Otherwise, तो किसने क्या बोला, किसने क्या, I am always seeking those. कोई बोलेगा तब करेंगे. So how can I be proactive then? Okay. Begin with the end in mind. Start with clear mental image of the goal. That becomes so important. And we saw Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha, chapter 3 ka 35 and 18 ka 47. That will be with us on this goal. Put first things first. We saw the resolute mind. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandanan. बहुशाखाह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनां कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भुः मा ते संगोऽस्त्व कर्मणि. Act according to your obligatory duties, not impulse or distraction. That's so very important. Think win-win. Act for collective good. We saw devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu va परस्परम भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेवेतरो जनः स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते. That we saw. And then we saw seek first to understand, then to be understood. Humility and receptivity precede wisdom. Please be a good listener. Only then people will listen to you. Okay. Don't listen to respond. Listen to understand. Synergize, cooperative. Create cooperation. The whole is greater than the sum of part. Sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayamikshate. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu taj jnanam vidhi satvikam is what we saw. Sharpen the saw. Continuous self-renewal. Body, mind, intellect. Yukta hara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu. Yukta swapnavabodhasya योगो भवति दुःखः शनैः शनैरुपरमेद् बुद्ध्या धृति गृहीतया आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा न किंचिदपि चिन्तयेत्. Don't worry, Bhagwan is there. Okay. Thank you so much. We can take some questions if we can. But before that, I would say the closing prayers and then we will.
Maybe you can stop sharing.
I will stop sharing. We'll say the closing prayers and then we can take some questions. Okay. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. हरि ओम तत्सत्. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. हरि ओम.
Thank you, Prasunji, for such a beautiful session. And we have got so much of positive feedback and love coming our way in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your feedback on the chat. We have also shared a feedback form with you. It takes less than 30 seconds to fill that up. Please fill that up and type FDF feedback done, and then we will open up the session for Q&A. While we have taken a note of your questions, we'll request you to unmute yourself and ask the question directly. Before that, fill out the feedback form and use the reactions button to raise hand so that we can. So share the link once again, Vaishnavi. If you just scroll up, it's there, Bharti. Yeah, the link is
Sir,
shared.
request you to please share the complete session recordings.
Yes, the recording will come to you via an email or the same email that you used to register.
Yes, sir.
It will be there soon after the session. Stay tuned to your emails. Thank you, Mayur. Please raise your hands and then we will take up your Q&A. Use the reactions button to raise your virtual hand and then we'll invite you. I think GK sir had a question, so we will maybe start with GK sir. Yes.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, first of all, thanks to Prasunji and to Ashishji, right, for this session. In fact, the moment I saw the announcement, I blocked my time because I just wanted to be with this session. Having said that, there is one observation and one question which I have, which if Prasunji can clarify. See, when we say Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, the explanation is you do your action, leave the result to me. Right?
No,
That is, yeah, what is it?
that is not the explanation.
Okay, you can please explain.
I'm sorry, I'm being very curt in this. And the problem is people think that is the explanation. That is not the explanation. The shlok is, and that is why we must learn the Bhagavad Gita the way it is. Karmani eva adhikarahate. Only karma, performing action, is under your control. That's it. Ma phaleshu kadachana. The phala, the fruit, the result of your action is not in your control. And it is, you are also not in it. आपके अधिकार में है ही नहीं. It is not in your control.
Got it. Okay, thanks for rephrasing it and maybe the right way. But my question is, even doing that action, it is not in my hands. Because the moment I say I am doing, forget about the result. I am doing is an ego involvement because nothing moves without his intention. So where is my role in that of action? Is my question.
So the action, a beautiful question. It will take some time, but I'll try to answer in short. Okay. The chapter 18 begins with Arjun asking a question to Bhagwan. Sanyasasya mahabaho tattvamichhami veditum tyagasya charushi kesha pruthakkesha nishudana. He says, Bhagwan, please tell me, tyag or sannyas, what is the difference between the two? Because both has the element of renunciation, giving up. Isn't it? So Bhagwan then first says about tyag, which I mentioned during my deliberation also, that tyag is three things. Three things cannot be given up in life, which is our obligatory duties, yagna, dana, tapa, cannot be given up. So what is to be given up? Given up is the attachment to the fruit, attachment to the result. Attachment, my personal likes and dislikes, attachment to that is to be given up. Okay. So that is tyag. So we must know what is to be given up, what is not to be given up. So giving up of karma is not tyag. It's not tyag. Tyag is giving up of my attachment to the result, my personal likes and dislikes, attachment to the fruits. That is tyag. And then Bhagwan says, even because these are to be done, etane apitu karmani. दुनिया में हम आए हैं तो जीना भी पड़ेगा.
Prasun, sorry to interrupt you. I've understood that part. What my question is, even the arrow cannot move without his will. So where is my action involved here? Because everything is being done through me by him. So where is the question of waiting for the fruit? Because he is the person who is
So if
getting the
that
action
is
done through me, and the result is also he is deciding. Where am I in this entire scenario is my question.
great, if that is realized and if we start working on that, then we become a realized person. Then we have already surrendered. So whatever comes to my plate, we keep on doing it. Then why am I expecting? So that is the realized state is what you're talking about. If you've already reached there, nothing like it. Amazing, great.
So if one can I present it?
Sure,
Can I?
please, Manojji.
So actually, what I understand from the entire, not from this, but the Gita. So point is कि भगवान says कि जो कुछ हो रहा है वो मैं कर रहा हूँ, मेरी मर्जी से हो रहा है अर्जुन, परंतु चॉइस तेरी है. चुनाव का अधिकार उन्होंने अर्जुन को दिया. तो क्या चुनना चाहता है? ये सब मरे पड़े हैं, सब मरे हुए हैं, लेकिन तुझे बाण चला के इनको मारना है. तो वो चुनाव का जो अधिकार है वो हमारे पास है, और वही चुनना है कि मैं बाण को तरकश पे रख दूं. चलाएगा तो वही. आप बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं जी के सर, परंतु पॉइंट क्या है? पॉइंट ये है कि मुझे रखना तो पड़ेगा. चॉइस तो जिज्ञासा कह लो, इच्छा कह लो, इच्छा शक्ति कह लो, वो तो दिखानी पड़ेगी. ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता ना कि मैं कुछ भी ना करूं और सब कुछ हो.
He made a good point because I was coming to that before. उसके पहले उन्होंने वो कर दिया मुझे. So sannyas is यस्य नाहंकृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वा पिस इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते. He says, what is sannyas? Na ahankar bhava. So give up my ego, the sense of doership कि मैंने किया, that is to be given up. So sannyas is giving up of that ego, the sense of doership, the sense of enjoyment कि मैं कर रहा हूं. ठीक है, that is a subtle above त्याग. So if I understand that, only then I become that realized person. And as Manoj ji rightly said, कि वो तो हमको करना, तो हम देखिए दुनिया में हम आए, जीना तो हमको पड़ेगा. जीवन में है जहर तो पीना तो पड़ेगा. We don't have a choice. ना उसको मैं प्रसाद मान के ग्रहण करूं कि मैं उसको वैसे ही छोड़ दूं, इज समथिंग. अगर मैं प्रसाद मान के ग्रहण करता हूं तो मीरा जी भी पी गई थी ना विष का प्याला, तो मैं भी पी जाऊंगा. तो विष का प्याला इज ओनली सिंबॉलिक. सो वॉट एवर सिचुएशन जो मुझे अभी विषम लगती है, अर्जुन को विषम लग रही थी वो परिस्थिति, ही वॉज एबल टू टाइड ओवर दैट परिस्थिति. नो
Okay. Can I share the other part? That is the second only.
GK sir, there are other people also. I'll just request you if we can.
Please. Yeah.
So Shripad, you have a question. So there is a comment from Shripad. Shripad, would you like to unmute and ask your question and share your comment also?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah. So coming back to 2.47, I will start my video. Coming back to 2.47, like just analogy came to my mind that Sachin Tendulkar will do endless practice, hours and hours in the net, hone his skills. But when he's playing the ball, he can only play the ball. Whether it goes for a 4 or a 6 or it goes for a 1 run or 2 run, that's not in his hand. It's like he leaves it to the play. But he just plays the ball well. That's it. That's my karma. Is that correct understanding?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Prasunji. Sripad, you also had a comment about Prasunji's chanting. You can ask the question to him directly.
Yeah. So chanting, like when I heard your chanting, it was very captivating, very clear on the syllables and everything. So where can we learn this kind of a chanting? Whether any site or anything?
See,
I have this Gita Press book which breaks everything down into syllables, but it doesn't teach you how to chant.
This one?
Yeah, I have this.
Okay. Good. So I have a YouTube channel where I'm teaching how to chant the shlok properly. नियम के हिसाब से कैसे चैंट कर सकते हैं, तो वो 11th चैप्टर 30th श्लोक तक हो गया है. सो तब तक आप जब तक वहां पहुंचेंगे हम तब तक कंप्लीट कर लेंगे.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Sripad. Richard, you have a question?
Well, a question. First of all, thank you, sir, for showing me an angle of this world what I have not yet seen before, and putting that from your perspective. So that's highly valued. Thank you. So circling back to two questions. One is to choose one thought over the other. I think that's, if we are in a higher state of calmness, I think our choices are more superior if you're choosing the yeses or the nos. And I think to tie that to the second question, in my experience, I always thought that our ego will give a sense of direction, because the biggest ego trip is pretending we don't have an ego. I think we're also here to manifest ourselves. And in the second choice, I think we need to surrender, in a way, what we thought that would not appeal good to the outside world, to achieve that goal, what goes beyond ourselves. Because ultimately, in the 3-box strategy, you would like to destroy the former self and create a newer self. Does that make sense? In a way, I'm trying to find a way to balance certain understandings in pursuit of my own personal goals. If I put it on the short-term timeline, we always need to make choices what to do. Influence people to a certain degree, I think is helpful, but I'm looking for some answers in this perspective, also to the wider community. Thank you.
Okay. So somehow I'm not very clear as to what you are asking, but whatever I understood, let me, because your voice was not very clear. Okay, not a problem.
My apologies. Yeah,
no, not a problem.
Thingy.
So whether we are leaders or followers, let me take that question first. So all of us are leaders in our own way. All of us are leaders. All of us are born leaders. Okay. So that's the given. It is the choice that we make with the situations will decide whether we are leading or we are following. Okay. Time, there is a constraint of time. Otherwise, I would have taken you through a video also, where a 6-7 year boy, a child, is able to motivate people around him to lift a log of 3 to 4 tons. Okay. So something, it's in the Lead India. If you want, you can go and check it in the YouTube also. So it's a choice that we make, that if I want to lead or I want to follow. But essentially, we are all leaders. Okay. We are born to lead. Okay. Now, the second part of your question, I was not very clear. If you can please come back to that again, Richard.
Yes, so I work with a lot of cultures across the world. So the leadership question is to balance the Americans, where I work with significantly, versus the diverse cultures, to elevate them within that specific setting, to not be overshouted in certain contexts. So that was the back thought. I would like to go on merit instead of. And the second is to choose one thought over the other. So I recognize within myself that depending on the state of being, let's take the example of me being in traffic. If I'm in a good mood, there's no problem. I will let you cut the line in front of me, and I'll be graciously about it. If I have a terrible day, then there is no chance in this lifetime that you will cut and cross. Same day, same circumstance, different me. Through that lens, we make our choices. Let's make this pragmatic from my end. So I try to balance many stakeholders. Sometimes I get the perception of being cut short, which will happen, obviously, if you're a leader in your specific field, and then try to take that power back by force of control, which I can, but sometimes maybe I've given my own answer, which is not. And then I think you choose intuition, and thoughts pop up like hiccups. I think we're all here to recognize that some answers come from within. And the second is what is a fear-based thought and what's a non-fear-based thought. So when do we know that people are connected as the ground connects the mountains, as the underlying network in a way of sense? So what choices do we make to make our choices better? So leading from trust or fear, or Ashish, you know me a little bit better. Maybe you can help to structure my question.
No, not a problem. I
Oh,
understood it in parts, but I'll try and answer it from the perspective of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So my mood is good and I'm going and someone crosses the line and someone crosses or someone jumps the red light. I am in a good mood and I think that I let it go. But I'm in a foul mood and someone does the same, I am going to give it back. Okay. So that is something that is a very natural emotion. Okay. But am I that the first one or the second one cannot be decided on these two instances. So Bhagavan says that or the Bhagavad Gita says that all of us are product of three gunas. All of us are mix of the three gunas, sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. Okay. So whatever is predominant, whether the sattvic or the rajasic or the tamasic, will define how I conduct myself predominantly. Okay. So someone crossing the road is not on the mood. So if it happens 10 times, how do you react or how do you act in the predominantly in the 10 times will be your nature.
To this question, so next to my chairmanship and work for NGOs, I launched my own company. I'll make it very pragmatic. So a lot of AI startups come to my end, but I'm more on the trend of the visionary. So you can see long-term scope by detecting weak signals. In the shorter term, we also need to make a living. I'll make it pragmatic. Recently, an AI startup came up to investigate stillborn kids. I always get these people. So I'll make it very pragmatic. But I'm less salesy. So I'll try to connect these people with the right people, which happens. And they recognize the value because I do have a strong reputation in this field. But I can't keep giving away everything in the infinite of time because I also have my own personal goals. So the question here is very on the let's keep it on a single focus point instead of a broader cloth. So from the abstract to the pragmatic. When should we try to pull that back or should we do not? Because if you don't pull it back, you're maybe so there are two courses of logic. You can say I can come from a position of superfluence and I don't mind. So I'll let it up in the air and we'll see if it naturally gravitates back. And you can say two things on an intuitional point of view, from a leadership point of view. I know how to grasp that back in, I know. But sometimes it's best to let that sit on the hand and see if it naturally gravitates because you'll quite confidently touch base back in the future. And these kind of decisions are, I think, also aspire to make if you see further than other people, you need to help sometimes to make people see that a little bit shorter within that specific domain of where I'm really good at. And I think how to make the best choice because, better decision making. Is there a way to check this is an intuition or this is fear or whatnot based? Is there a check and balance that we can do? Is there a way that I can sharpen my saw in better decision making?
Okay.
Number 7. And if I'm over asking, then just let's change the slide. I'm very much open for that.
No, not a problem.
Because everybody has seats. Yes.
Yeah. So before I answer that question, Richard, let me ask you a question. Are you predominantly emotional or predominantly practical?
So it's an excellent question. I balance. So you have the archetypes of Jung, I would be 99% red. That's leadership, be brief, be bright, be grown. So that's emotion. Then I'm 92% blue, rational. And I can balance the two. And that will give me, from a leadership perspective, I don't have my cube on the desk. So I have the capacity to analyze and then decide what's needed to happen. So I can balance my head to the left or to the right, but predominantly it's in emotion. And
that is where I think it plays on you more than the rational mind comes later.
But you don't want to
So the
have the sandwich.
balancing that you, because if I come to you and I say, Richard, I need this. Okay. So howsoever trivial it may be for you at that point in time, in relation to what you're doing, okay, you will tend to give me some time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I think that you need to balance. I'm not saying ignore that. What I'm saying is you can take it up at a later time.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Otherwise you will keep on oscillating between the two.
Yeah.
Oscillating, and then as you will not be able to hit the middle ground, the ground that you want to hit.
I'm looking at I'm good at weaving a very lengthy and complex program, but everything
we can
to
take this
interact.
offline,
Yeah.
Richard, if you
Yes,
don't mind.
that's a good one.
I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
Gopa, is there a question you have or a comment? Okay. Prasunji, how are you on time? Maybe we could conclude the session and carry on the conversation off the record, depending on the time.
We can take one or two more questions in case there are some.
All right. So maybe what we'll do is we'll bring the session to a close so that those who want to leave can leave, and we'll keep it open for another maybe 5 or 10 minutes for people who have questions or comments to make. And we will also be sharing the recording of this session with you, and in that mail Prasunji's coordinates will also be there. So if you would like to take the conversation forward, you could schedule another time or as per mutual convenience. So on that note, thank you everybody for joining us for this session and kicking off 2026 in great style. Thank you, Prasunji, for taking out time from an extremely busy schedule and putting together this innovative program. I think it's not many people talk about this correlation. So that is something that has been really appreciated by the participants looking at the chat, comments in the chat. So thank you everybody. Thank you Prasunji. Thank you everybody for being actively engaged. We draw the session to a close. As I mentioned earlier, our session next Saturday, same time, will be on LSD. Take your career to a new high, which is Lakshmi, Saraswati and Durga, which is about managing your personal finances, knowledge, relationships and emotions to take your career to a new high. So please block your calendars, share it with your friends so that they can join. This is a very unique program. Nobody else talks about it. So this is a bulletproof structure to elevate your career to a new high. That's what we're going to be talking about. Thank you. We will go, we'll stop the recording now and open it up for discussion for next 5 to 10 minutes with GK and Richard and Prasunji and anybody else who would like to take it forward. Maybe Rushil also has a question. Please keep it short and so that we can cover everybody in next maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Rushil first, GK sir, and then Richard, in that order. Thank you.